Hi guys, this is Mrs. Parham. For your bell ringer today, we're going to be working on drawing a curved cone. You guys already drew a cone. This time it's going to be curved, and it can be either a tooth, a horn, or a spike. It's your choice of what you want it to look like. And let me show you step by step what we're going to be doing, and then I'm going to actually be drawing it for you. So first you'll draw an air oval, just like we practice our air circles. Then you set your pencil down onto the paper. You can draw multiple, no problem. Put a dot at the upper right-hand corner of above your oval. Then connect the line from your oval up to the dot. Erase the line that should be in the back. Then you're going to start shading on the opposite side of the light source. Use the values that we practiced from dark to light. Don't forget, shade a bit at the bottom where there's a shadow. Go from dark to light and blend it in. Then I like to add a really dark edge to give it a pop and then blend that inwards. Then your final piece will look something like this. When you're all done, you're going to take a picture of your curved cone, your horn or your tooth, and then you're going to insert it into the Google Classroom assignment. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to draw it so you can follow along here. Okay, so this one right here, this is what we're going to draw. Here is my example. Okay, so I'm going to get a clean sheet of paper. I'm going to get my pencil, and if you have fancy drawing pencils, you're going to use your hard drawing pencil. So your H pencil or your HB or your B pencil. If you just have regular school pencils, any pencil will do fine. So you're going to draw an air oval. So I have my hand resting on the paper, and I just hold my pencil above the paper, and then I set my pencil down when I feel like I've got a good oval going. I like to draw multiple ovals, and then it gets all blended in anyway. I'm going to draw a dot in the upper right-hand corner. Okay, yours doesn't have to be quite that dark. I drew it dark so you could see it. I'm going to draw a really light one there now. Then I'm going to take my oval here. I'm going to draw my pencil right alongside the oval so it really, really connects. I don't want to just draw it like a straight line here. I'm going to curve it around and bring it right up to that dot. This one I'm going to curve around, so I'm kind of drawing air over my pencil, like doing an air curve here. And then when I feel like, okay, this is a good one, then I'm going to go up like this. Okay, now I'm going to erase this back one. Now I get to start the shading. My light source is going to be up here. I'm going to draw in my light source, but you don't need to draw in your light source. Maybe you have sun coming down on your scene. Okay, so up here, this is where my highlight is going to be. I want to not draw in that area. I'm just going to draw that in very lightly. And then that's my reminder not to put my pencil in that area. Now I'm going to start shading on the opposite side of my highlight, where the shadow would be. And I like to draw with curved scribbles here because I have a curved shape. So I want to continue that. If I draw with straight lines, that's okay. If you do your whole drawing like that and you use hatch marks and different techniques for that, but we're not learning that technique today. We're learning how to shade with scribbles. You could also hold your pencil on the side like this, and this kind of shades in a little bit faster, but you also want to remember you're doing scribbles. Okay, you're doing little circular shading in here. Now, if I take a look at this, that's kind of all one value, and I want to have a lot of values like we did with our value scale. Notice how dark I got this here and worked my way out. So I'm going to be a little bit braver, and I'm going to press my pencil down a little bit harder, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker on this end and work my way in. So I can draw on the side of my pencil if I want, or I can just hold it normally with a loose wrist. Don't forget your loose wrist. And I'm thinking that this area right in here is kind of a lump. The sun actually might be hitting this area, so I'm not going to shade in that area too much. I'm going to concentrate more over here where I know that the sun would not be shining. You'd have more of a shadow in. Okay, and then I'm going to work my way in, doing my scribbles, doing my gradient, going very, very lightly up here. And then I'm going to go down here also, and I'm going to shade in down here at the bottom of my tooth. So I'm kind of working my way up as I go. One little technique that you might want to try is sort of doing like air circles in this area and kind of making some contour lines where you're going to be shading in. So I want to work from down here, very dark down here at the bottom, and then I want to work my way up. So I'm going to get lighter and lighter, just like we did with our value scale. Now, if I take a look at that, that looks kind of weird right there. So I want to kind of blend this in right in here. Try to make my pencil marks very, very light. I'm going to kind of leave a highlight there. I'm going to kind of bring these two together just a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural. I'm not drawing in that one area because that's going to be a highlighted area. Right down here, I definitely have some shadow going on because that's the opposite side of my light source. So I'm going to make that really dark and then I'm going to blend that in. And every once in a while, I kind of squint my eyes and I take a look at the whole thing in general to see like maybe where I can add some more dark. I'm going to add this really dark, sharp line in right here on the edge. And then that's going to give it some pop because I'm going to feather that in with my value scale. I'm going to blend it. I'm going to be lifting my pencil up lighter and lighter as I go towards the edge and more pressure as I get closer to the line. And then right back here, I really want it to be dark because I want that to look like I'm really having a strong curve there. So I like that. That looks pretty good. I'm going to bring that line down here and I'm going to curve that up, blending that. Want to make it look more natural, so I got to bring this gradient inwards and try to blend it all the way into the white area. Every once in a while, I take a look back and see how I'm doing here. I'm going to bring the shading in just a little bit. I want to be very careful of my highlighted area. I want to like literally press the pencil as light as I possibly can go. And I might even need to backpedal a little bit and use my eraser a little bit to lighten it up where my highlight is if I can't get it light enough. I'm going to darken that edge there to help it look like I have a little bit more a variety of values going on in there. Darken this. Give it really, really sharp spike there. That is a very, very sharp spike. Okay, I'm going to erase my little highlight there. Now, you're pretty much done once you do that. However, if you want, you can also draw an air oval around the bottom and then set your pencil down very lightly Okay, when you've got a good oval there, I'm going to go and erase this little line in here so it's not showing up. Okay, and then this is advanced. You don't have to do this part, but if you're kind of getting into it, this is how you can level up your drawing. Is now I'm going to follow that line around here. And this is going to be maybe like where the skin might ripple up around your horn or your spike. Okay, and then so to do that, you kind of think about right in here, you might have like kind of it's kind of connecting right in there. So I'm going to make this a little bit darker right in here. Okay, this is where maybe this wrinkle on the skin, it really dives down deep in there. And right in around in here, okay? So now I want to work my way out. Now I want to keep this rim here where the sun would hit. Sun's going to hit right in here. So I'm going to keep that really light. And I'm going to shade around. Here it's going to be really dark because no sun is hitting there on this side. So I can really, shade in here. I like to kind of do air circles and then set my pencil down as it curves around. And then you just continue to do this all the way around. I'm doing my air circles, drawing my pencil up and kind of releasing the pressure on my pencil. Then I'm going to go the opposite way, curve this around. And I think it's going to be really dark on this side because there's no real sun over there, but I do want it to still look three-dimensional. So I will leave a highlight in there. And then I'm squinting every once in a while so I can make sure this is looking three-dimensional. And what areas am I missing? What areas need to make a little bit darker? This is just your bell ringer today, right? So this is, I'm going to put a little background in here, a little skin. Maybe this is the tail of my dragon. You guys already drew a cone. This is just what you can do with a cone. This is like applying it to a drawing. So you can really, make a spiky dragon now because now you know how to draw a spike, or this can be a tooth. I'm going to use the side of my pencil now. Go back in here. Here, this is my surface area. Now remember, this part you don't have to do, but if you're following along still, that's great. And you can always back up this video, watch it a little bit more. And if you want, you can also bring this shadow down and kind of have your wrinkle kind of attached to the skin a little bit more. So you could work on that as you go around. All right. So don't forget to turn this in the assignment called Bell Ringer. Okay.